Hi, everybody. Hi. This is Jayan here. I'm calling it Mimi's Kitchen just because I'm Mimi. My oldest grandson was so young when he started cooking. When he started talking that he couldn't say ma mère. And so he called me Mimi. So now I'm Mimi. So anyway, Mimi is going to make some tomato sauce that's going to be canned later. And so we're going to do two YouTube videos, and I'll show you how to start your sauce and everything and get it going. And it's going to have to cook down, and later we're going to can it in the next segment. So we're going to do this here. See if I can get everything looking like it's working, so everybody can see things. So here we are. Just a minute, I'm going to check my Facebook to see if I got live on there in just a second. I'll be right back. Yeah, so we're going to do this here. See what happens. Oh yeah, here we are. Very good. Right on. So I'm going to just fix this here. I'm going to fix it here so that way people will decide to share it. Just a second. Okay. Edit it. Please share. There we go. So Mimi is the grandma. So this is Grandma's kitchen. So we're going to make some fresh tomato sauce. And the next door neighbor gave me a whole passel of fresh tomatoes. Here they are. There's some of them here. I already made one pot of sauce here. Whoops, there we go. It's happening. Not sauce, but just the tomatoes that are all cooked up so that I can turn it into sauce after. We have to grind them up in my blender. So here we go. What I'm going to do now is show you what we're going to do with the rest of the tomatoes. I have another pot here, and we're just going to cut them up. Got a nice cutting board. It's kind of easy to be able to pour them into the thing here. Some from Epicure is pretty cool. And then I have this thing that takes out all the cores of your tomato, which is really cool. So we got some plum tomatoes and a few smaller ones. I did have some really big ones in the other one. But if you take your core out, like it's here, because you don't want that in your sauce at all. It's just yucky. And it won't cook up. So and the plum tomatoes, or Roma as they call them, they're much meatier and they have a lot less juice in them. So you won't have to cook them down so much when you want to make your sauce. And I felt that I'd like to try putting together a few jars of tomato sauce. Not like I couldn't use them all right now, but just to show people how you can tomato sauce. And then we're going to, this one's really, really soft. It has a blemish here. We'll cut that out before we put it in. So I just use everything I can. So what I do is I'm just going to cut them up in a rough chop. Really quite big. So they're going to cook down, and then you're going to put them through your blender or your food processor to smooth it out. And you don't need to blend it so it's really, really soft or whatever. You might want to leave a few chunks in it. But it's really nice because this recipe, you don't have to peel them. When you're normally doing, here's that blemish. I'm just going to cut that out. Put it in the garbage here. When you normally just canning tomatoes, you have to blanch them and take the peel off because the whole tomatoes will have these skins that just won't break down after when you're using them. So you'll take the peel off and everything. And maybe if anybody wants, I can teach them how blanched tomatoes and stuff for canned tomatoes too. So this is the easy way of doing it. Just dump it in there. Kind of nice, these flexible cutting boards. A nice big tomato. So I like, it's kind of nice when you have neighbors that like you. So I'm sure I'll be sending over a jar of tomato sauce for her. And why not? I think I have some zucchini coming up too, and cucumbers too pretty soon. Oh, I hear the dog barking. I hope it's not anybody coming here. I won't be answering the door. So yeah, we're just going to do all these tomatoes, get them into the pot. So yeah, we'll get all this all done. Reese, hi. Hi. What are you doing? Nothing. I thought you guys were going to get glasses. We just did. Oh. Well, I did. Oh yeah, cool. How about going over there so I can finish doing my YouTube thing?
Wait, are you streaming?
Yes, I'm streaming right now. So yeah, that's my grandsons. They came. They're just came in, got one pair of new glasses anyway. But so we're getting pretty full here. I'm almost done with filling it up. So yeah, I was saying when my oldest grandson was really young, he couldn't speak properly, so he called me Mimi instead of Mère. And now I'm Mimi to all of my grandsons and some of their friends, which I don't mind at all. But yeah, when we were kids, my mom used to make. She never made tomatoes. What the heck, eh? Am I still going? I think I'm still going. Let's see. Anything happening over there? I'm going to go check it over here. Just a sec. Yeah, looks like it. Looks like we're happening here. Yeah? Oh, yeah. Sounds good. Looks good. Hope everybody can hear me. So, yeah. Anyway, she would make canned tomatoes and pickles and fruit. And we would never get to have any. And it was always this time of year that was happening. So, well, some of the fruit was a little earlier because it was peaches and pears and stuff. And they would go down to the lower mainland in BC and get them early. And she would can them. And we would never get to have them. She says, oh, they won't be good until Christmas time. So, of course, we can't open them. We were always so ready to have nice canned fruit and tomatoes and pickles by Christmas time. I don't think that it lasted much longer after the Christmas season either, all that stuff, because we made sure we had a lot of it. I think maybe the pickles and beets and stuff like that lasted a little longer, but yeah, that's the story about how my mom got us from not eating all the canned vegetables and fruit. For this year, I'm sure it's going to be edible right away because it's going to be ready. It's going to be edible before I put them in the jars. You're going to put about a tablespoon of salt in there. A bay leaf. Yeah, there we go. The small ones there. I got bay leaves from Epicure. It's really good stuff. What else do I need? Oh, a little honey. And put some honey into it. Whoops. Turn this off. So we're going to put some honey into it. Okay. I'm here. Yep, I am. And some oregano. Where's my oregano? Yes, here's the oregano. And throw some oregano in it. Oregano. And about a big spoon of honey. Just to really get some of the flavors going there. There we go. Nice spoon of honey. And then we're going to add some water over top of these tomatoes. There we go. Oh, Try to get it in the pot. Whoop. That'll do. It says it's supposed to cover them, but they'll shrink down. I'm gonna get some of the water off this stove. So we're gonna just move this over here into this other one. There we go. And that one's gonna start cooking. It'll cook down like this other one. And while this is cooking, you're gonna put together your vegetables that are gonna go into. Get rid of this here. Get rid of this. Into the sauce for after. It's gonna need to be sauteed. So I like using this wok. It's really easy for sauteing. So what I'm gonna put into my sauce is onions. You're supposed to have garlic, but I forgot to buy garlic. So I do have just some garlic powder I'm putting in there. And then you need to cut it up. Cut up your onions. I'm gonna put some peppers in it too. So I have some a red and an orange pepper too. So really, by the time this is all cooks up, it'll be not very many chunks. Because I like cooking my sauce a long time to get the flavor. Just get rid of all this junk on here. Onions. Make sure your stuff is good quality. Your tomatoes can be pretty ripe, but just make sure they're not starting to rot or something like that. I'm just throwing onions all over the place. I'm going to use a little bit of oil in here. I have grapeseed oil. You can use olive oil, grapeseed oil, any pretty decent oil, because the onions are going to have to saute. Got a little bit that I cut up earlier last night from whatever I made. I can't remember now. I'm always cooking. Always cooking. Yeah. So when I was growing up, we lived up in the interior of BC, and we tried to grow a garden. Now there wasn't a whole lot of topsoil in that around there. It was all rocks. It was terrible. I think it was alkaline too. I'm not sure, but I know me and my brother, we decided we wanted to grow a garden. So we dug up what we could, and we put in things. And I don't remember what all we put in, but I do know that not even a radish grew. So I do appreciate when I can get some nice produce next year, because we came a little bit late here in this house. I didn't have the time or willpower to put in a garden. I did put a few flowers in, but no vegetables. So next year I'm going to do some vegetables. This is what I like about these flexible cutting boards. They're so easy. Yep. Let's turn this down a little bit here. I'm throwing onions all over the place. So I'm going to get rid of all the insides of this peppers. You don't need them. You don't need the little veins or whatever you call them. I don't know what they're called. This part over here. Or the seeds. Okay. I found the recipe on the internet, but I'm just changing it up a bit because I've had canned sauces with peppers in it, so I think that'll be really good in there. Just give it a really nice taste. So, yeah, nice to have fresh produce. I made pickles a few times. I might be making some relish and stuff like that. So if my cucumbers come from another friend, which is kind of nice. So while the tomatoes are actually cooking down, you saute these ones, and these are all cooking, all sauteed. Like I'm going to process the tomatoes, the ones that I already cooked down in my my blender. So that way, you can I can show you all the different steps. It's always a good thing to have different steps. Show them to you. Now, some people might want their sauce really, really blended, so there's no chunks or whatever. But it's nice to have a little bit of chunks. And if it happens that all my chunks are gone, oh well. I'll just put some extra tomatoes in later when I use it for spaghetti sauce or what have you, soups. But I think this is going to be really good. I have some spices I'm going to add to this here in a minute. I have some really nice spices from Epicure. Now, Epicure is just a Canadian company, so only Canadians can buy it. They don't want to expand to the United States or anywhere else. But I'm sure you can find some good quality spices other places. I like Epicure though. I've been using them for years. So I decided I was going to sell it, which is nice. Am I still going on there? Yeah, still going cool. Right on, working out. I don't know if anybody's sharing my video, but we'll share it later. So yeah, I decided I would try some YouTube videos. I made one other cooking one, so I want to make more of them. Because a lot of people just don't know how to make things, and I want to bring back the old ways of making things. How my mom made it, and her mom made it, and I'll learn on the way. I'm sure some other people know more things about it that I haven't learned. So almost done here. I'm going to divide these vegetables up into both of those pots of stuff of tomatoes after. So I'm only going to put half into there after. Here we go. That's done. And when I make my sauces, I like to put my spices right in there. Whoops, there's a piece that didn't get cut. Yeah. Let's fix that. This thing doesn't move around very much. Like some will move around, but this Epicure one has some little bumpy things on the back that kind of holds down onto the counter, so it's really good. I like it. So we're sauteing them, and I'm going to put in, I have some garlic granules here, some more basil, oregano. The garlic granules are actually roasted ones. And then I have some other spices that I want to put in. This one, margarita one, is really nice. It's really chunky and everything. So this one's going to go in there. Has some dried tomatoes in it. Sun-dried tomatoes, that's the one. Rustico has a little bit of, what do you call that stuff? Rosemary and stuff in it. So I like to use a lot of spices. This is going to be really good. I won't have to add all pile of spices when I make my tomatoes, my spaghetti sauce now. You don't have to put all these spices in, but majority of the time I use my sauces for spaghetti and things like that. Even my chili will have a lot of the same spices in it, so this will work pretty good. I'm not going to get a lot of tomato sauce out of this anyway, but it'll give me probably 4 or 5 quarts, which I don't mind. So right now I hope everybody's enjoying this here, understanding what I'm doing. I think I have things in a spot that you can see. This is starting to get hot. I'm going to turn it up a little bit again. This one cooled off a bit here, so it's ready to go into the blender. So I got my blender. Pretty cool blender, this one. It actually has a blender and a food processor. And you can use the food processor, but it's not a huge blender and processor, so I'm just going to use the blender on it because it holds a lot more. So here it is here. And I need a scooper. This can go in there. There we go. I'm just going to put some in here. It's going to go back into this pot after, but right now, I'm just going to put it into another bowl until I can get it all processed and then go back into the pot. And half of the vegetables will go in with it. So, here we go. Don't want to go too fast. See how it is. Get a pot. A bowl here. Big bowl. Running out of bowls, so. Yeah, you can see it has a few chunks left in it. Kind of what I wanted. There you go. So, yeah, and this is probably going to take a couple hours to cook down after. Because very watery. This one here mostly didn't have the plum tomatoes, so it's going to take longer to cook down. And I'll mix them all together anyway when I start putting it into the jars, so it's all going to be the same. And it's got to be hot when you put it in the jars. Very fast. Almost looks like tomato soup juice. You can't throw the juice away though because you're going to want to cook this down lots. And the more it cooks, the more the spices will blend in, will cook in it. So it'll taste better. That's why even when I buy tomatoes, I'll make some canned tomatoes or whatever, and I'll put them in my sauce to cook down. I'll always add a whole lot of water and let it cook for quite a while, so all the flavors and the spices and everything go together, cook up together, and it tastes really, really good. So this is the last one, yay! There we go. So see how these vegetables are cooking down here. You see them here? They're cooking down nicely. I really, really like to cook my spices in with my vegetables when they're sauteing. It brings out the flavor. Brings the flavor out really well. So here we go. We're going to pour it back into the pot because now it's going to have to cook for a few hours. It's a really long process, but it's going to make it worthwhile. If I had more tomatoes, I would really, really like that. But we'll see how it goes, eh? So there it goes. Try not to make too much of a mess here. Lots of cleaning up after. There we go. So the vegetables are cooking down really nicely. You want to make them so the onions are opaque. There we go. I think that'll work. What I'm going to do is take this off out of here. And then here's nothing in the way. There we go. Yay! See that? I got to move this one out of the way for a minute. I don't want to put it on the counter. Put it on over here. And the sauce is going to go on top of that. Make sure it's not hot. Turn this down because it's got to simmer now. Yeah. Just move this over here. So we're gonna let this simmer probably a couple hours or 3 hours, depends. Really depends. If I had a really big pot, I could have done it all at once, but since I don't know what happened to my pots. That's beside the point. There we go. That'll work. So we got this here going. It's going to simmer for a couple hours. The other one here has got to start boiling and cooking down a bit. And then a little bit more in here. And then I'll do the same thing. And then I'm going to come back and show you on the next video how to can it. You're going to need to make sure all your canning supplies are, just a minute here, let's turn it around here a bit, are in good shape. There we go. So what I have right now, I have a canner. And I decided to buy, well, the jars came with the old-fashioned jars here, which is really cool. I really like them. So these ones here, there's the other ones that everybody has, but these are the old-fashioned ones. And these are going to have to soak in some hot water before they go on. But it's going to be going on here. And it's going to be put on here. Okay. Let's see if I can do it here. I'll have to practice. I haven't used these here ever. I just decided, well, I'm going to do these nice old-fashioned jars. And this one goes on here. And you'll tighten it down on here, and then you're going to process it in the big pot with boiling water. And it's got to be about 1 inch over top. And you're going to cook it for about 45 minutes in there. So that way it'll be processed in there, and it'll be safe. We're going to add some other ingredients to it. And so here we go. So I hope that you learned a little bit, and I hope you're excited to make some tomato sauce. Because a lot of people have piles and piles of tomatoes they don't know what to do with. So here we go. I'm going to say bye for a little while. In a few hours, I'll make the other one. Show you how to can it and everything, what you do with your jars. You're going to have to put them in boiling water and everything, so that way they're sterilized, and the lids and everything. And then we'll go from there. So I'll talk to you very soon. This is Mimi. Bye. See you later. I'll speak at you next time on this channel. Bye-bye. Yes, it says end.